have a problem with Kenyans. Their definition of leadership is a politician or politics, while politicians are not leaders. And so we have that conflict where Kenyans perceive politicians as leaders and anybody else not a leader. It is the other way around. Leadership is at every level, as I believe. But politicians are not leaders. Politicians are politicians. Yes, Mr. Gaitho.
Yes, having listened to the chairman, to Commissioner Macharia, Commissioner Farah, and also having had a chance to scan through this booklet on transgenerational conversations, and also more able to contribute. This is certainly a conversation we must have. This is an engagement as media we should have. We have the platforms when it comes to giving voices to diverse interest groups. We have a role to play in what we call agenda setting, and that agenda setting is often around the transformation of society. But we also, from our own experiences, have to be careful about how we approach that. I heard the chairman mention the word peace several times, and that always puts me on the alert. Because too often, when those in authority talk about peace, it is about securing themselves. It is about, how do we say it? It is about quelling dissent. It is about maintaining the status quo. And it should never be that way. If we are in a transformational moment, then our job should be to drive that transformation, not to suppress it. And I'll explain why. In 2007, the time of the post-election violence, as media we did something which was, I think, unprecedented. We sat down as editors, as media owners, various interest media groups, and agreed on a common headline and a common editorial, a call for peace. And I was in the Daily Nation that time. I was very much involved in that and even writing the editorial. Then came the conversations we had within the media around what we did wrong or what we did right in that conflict. And we realized that calling for peace in the absence of the call for justice was misplaced. We remember that we used to sing peace, love, and unity, but we forgot to incorporate the word justice. And we still sing peace, love, and unity even today. By the way, a month ago, I saw some billboards, peace, love, and unity. That was the government's response to Gen Z. And when I mentioned it somewhere, those billboards were pulled down. So we do not go for peace, love, and unity in the absence of justice. So even as we drive this conversation, we must not drive it as a way of containing what you might call the revolt. We must drive it as a way of making that revolt a part of our lives, driving that transformation which is so necessary. It worries me now that the political classes, because they have banded together in self-interest, think they have contained the situation. They're now telling us that this Gen Z revolt was nothing but something based on misinformation and fake news and disinformation, that the finance bill was okay, that high taxation is okay. They have the courage now to pull those opaque deals. They are pulling with the Adanis and all these other characters appearing out of I don't know where. They have gone back to default mode. But from where we sit, we know that what we are seeing is basically is just the calm before the storm. And if we want to play any meaningful role in this dialogue, or whatever you want to call it, it cannot be about suppressing voices of dissent, about quelling temperatures. It must be about ensuring that those questions are answered. If we want to talk about peaceful elections, it must be about demanding that you have transparent, open, accountable elections. If it is about inclusivity, bringing in the groups which are marginalized and dispossessed, then it must be done. We must have the framework for doing those things, not simply sterile calls for peace or sterile calls for cohesion. It must be actually about responding to these issues in society which cause fractures and friction. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. There cannot be peace. And Kofi Annan and team were very right when they recommended the formation of the Truth, Justice and Reconciliation Commission to bring a closure to our historical injustices, which again is catching dust in our shelves. Because as a country, if we had dealt with the recommendations of TJRC, we will have really addressed so many injustices that we did to each other in this country. Back to me.
The office is not the office, it is the holder. And I don't know who it was it Gaitho who talked about where is Kenya National Human Rights these days? You know, so many organizations are dead, by the way. It's not only Kenya National Human Rights. Now you're adding NCIC into the list. Chairman, NCCK used to be lively in the 80s and early 90s somewhere. Where is it? Where is SUPKEM? You know? I think organizations is about the leadership. Chairman saw